I'm JoAn Risdon with Smart Image Media, and I'm really excited today because I'm doing something that's my passion. I do a lot of posts on Facebook about people coming into their passion and following through what you're made for. Well, one of the things that really excites me is to see my friends that are entrepreneurs, be successful in your businesses. So what I decided to do is do a series of interviews with some of my friends, and I've got Ernest Garfield here today, and he's known as Ernie. And what we're going to do is we're going to talk a little bit about banking. So I'm going to bring the wisdom out of my friends to help you out. I'm great at branding, but the rest of the business knowledge I have an understanding from owning my own business, but not to the depth of the experts and the wisdom such as Ernie Garfield would have. And so what I'd like to do today is just ask Ernie a couple questions, but before I do that, I'm going to read through some of his accolades and his titles, and it's so long of a list that I've got to read it from the list. And so let me start with Ernie. As president of Independent Bank Developers, chairman of Interstate Bank Developers, founder of the Alliance of Business Banks, he's been the Arizona State Treasurer, State Senator, and member of the Corporation Commission. During the Mideast oil crisis of the 70s, he twice chaired the White House Conference on Energy. Ernie has a bachelor's and master's degrees in international business from the prestigious American Graduate School of International Management, as well as a second bachelor's degree in business administration from the University of Arizona. The Phoenix Business Journal recognized him as one of the most influential business leaders in 2007. He's a Korean War veteran and an advocate for abused women. In fact, our last segment will be on how he's an advocate for abused women and what he's doing for them. But first, I want to start off with the question. Ernie has actually started 31 small banks. And so my first question to you, Ernie, is why small banks? Why are they better than a larger bank?
First of all, thank you for your introduction. I sincerely appreciate that. And I hope you're not wrong when you said that I have some wisdom to pass on, but we'll do our best. I've started 31 banks because I believe in small banks and I believe in local control. What you'll find is when I was state treasurer, we controlled about 95% of the banking assets in Arizona. Now it's about 4%. The control is by larger banks, and they make their decisions elsewhere other than Arizona, and without really the concern for Arizona that the small bank uses when they make decisions.
Okay, and so what you're saying is small banks are better connected to their neighbor who's the entrepreneur?
Well, without question. We used to have a three-legged stool as a business person. And the three legs were your CPA, your accountant, and a lawyer, and a banker. And now you have the CPA or the accountant and the lawyer, but you do not have the banker to the extent we had before. Because if you're going to a large bank, they are centralized and they don't really have the appreciation for what is needed by a small business person. If you go to a small bank, however, they do have that knowledge because they're actually running a small business themselves. Mm-hmm. Many of these banks have $50 to $100 million in assets and maybe have 15 or 20 employees, so they are a small business. And they study small business and they are able to help small businesses that way.
Wow, that's amazing. So how do you recognize a small bank? I mean, it's obvious that the marketing and branding for the larger banks is out there, but how do people find the right small bank in their community?
Well, there are some websites that you can go to that will tell you what the bank specializes in. And I have a list of those because when I put a board together and help train them, I want to make sure that they know where to go for service until their bank is formed. Now, when their bank is formed, many of them will move their business to the bank. Some of them will keep it elsewhere, and we don't dictate that because it may serve them better to have it elsewhere. Mm-hmm. But what happens is you go to these sites and you find out what the bank specializes in, what condition they're in. And it's really very simple. It just takes moments to do it, and you can learn anything you need instead of blindly walking down the street or driving, looking after bank after bank after bank and being turned down. And most of them won't tell you up front that they're not interested in that particular business, because at that point, while they may not be, they may be interested in it later on, so they put you on hold. So it's best if you do your research work, just like you do with a doctor, a dentist, a lawyer, anyone else. And people just don't do it with banks.
Yeah, and that's smart advice. I think that one of the things our entrepreneurs would like to know, and the thing that seems limited out there is, you know, money to fuel your business for growth.
Yes. There are many reasons for that. And one is that the banker will understand your business better if he's a local banker and participates in local church with you or different clubs with you and so on. But the key is also the personalized effect that we have on small businesses. Big banks do transactional banking, and small banks do personalized banking. And that makes a substantial difference in the approach. Transactional is centralized decision making made elsewhere, and whereas personalized is made right on the spot. And it's usually much more effective for a small business to be exposed to a small banker who understands the community, understands the plight of that particular person, and can keep posted on what that person is doing during their business career.
Okay, well, I love that. So if you want to fuel your business with finance, do the research and find that small bank in your community by Ernie. So what we're going to do is say goodbye for now. I will post, and you will have at the end of this video all of the websites Ernie was referring to and talking about to help you out to find the right bank for you. Okay, thank you.